Hey, it's Tom from WPWithTom.com, and in this video I'll finally be covering Divi versus Elementor Pro and letting you know the strengths and weaknesses of each to help you decide which one is the best for you. Now before we dive in, I wanted to mention that I'll have affiliate links for each of these in the description below. Both of these links will ensure that you're going to get the lowest possible price, and my Divi link will get you 10% off at any time if you decide that that is the choice for you. If you do use my links after watching this video, I greatly appreciate it. It helps me to continue to bring free WordPress tutorials to you guys on YouTube. I also quickly wanted to let you know a little bit more about me and why I can help you evaluate these two options. I actually had an Elegant Themes membership before the Divi theme even was released or existed, so I've literally been a user of Divi since the day it launched years ago. In terms of Elementor, I was a user of it before they even had the Pro version back in 2016. So I've been using both of these for years. I've actually created tutorials on both of these and made complete websites on YouTube here. And I feel like I have a good feel for what the average user wants and needs in a builder. So with this brief intro out of the way, let's dive into what categories I'll be covering. Now the categories that I'll be covering are ease of use, pre-made templates, support, price, innovation, and the community around each of these builders. And at the end, I'll give you my overall recommendation. So let's dive into this ease of use category to start. So in terms of ease of use, I just wanted to start by saying that each of these are two of the easiest drag and drop builders around. It's honestly easier to make a website with them than almost anything out there, and they're both improving year after year. So I'm going to start by showing you a couple of examples of how things look inside each of the builders now. And let's dive into this. So I'll actually show you right here. If you were to hover over this and click edit, this one is actually going to be showing off Elementor and Elementor Pro. So right here you'll have this button that says edit with Elementor, and you'll be able to click on that and start to edit the site with their on-page builder here, their front-end builder. So right here we have all these widgets on the left side, and if you scroll down, there's also Pro widgets when you have Elementor Pro enabled. And there's general ones down here as well. So this gives you a lot of flexibility over how to actually create a website because of these pre-made widgets that are already built right into Elementor Pro and Elementor. So let's just say you wanted to add a form here. You could literally just go click, hold, and drag it and drop it right into this area, and then get started building a form and making it your own by changing different things. So if you wanted to make changes here in a form field, you could literally just go and change the label, the place name. So let's just say I wanted to put something else here. I'm going to put first name, and you can see right here on the screen, it changed the first name. And then the placeholder, you could also do first name, and it would add that right here into this placeholder. If you wanted to add another section like this, you can go and click on this to duplicate it, and then you could just simply write last name, and then for the placeholder, write last name. Another thing that's really easy on both builders is you actually can edit text right on the screen. So right here it says the rain. Let's say I wanted to change that, and I can do that right here on the site, and then I can go and save it or click update down here to make the changes go into effect. Now this is something that's great with Elementor, and Elementor is so easy to use. There's actually ways that you can preview your changes. You can look at different modes. So let's go and see what it would look like on a tablet, on mobile. And you can easily go through the process of editing it. And then you can go and look at history right over here. And you can revert back to different points within your website build here. So if you wanted to go back to where it started, you can click that before we added the form in, and then just go and click update to make that go into effect. So there's a lot that you can do within Elementor. It's actually very easy to use by using these widgets here. You also can choose different structures. So if you click on this, you can choose a 3 wide structure, for example, and go and click here and add an image. Now let's just say you wanted to duplicate the image. You can go and right click, duplicate, and then just drag it over and put it over here, right click, duplicate, and drag it over again. It makes it so easy to change the structure and the overall look within Elementor. I'm going to go and just click right click delete, and now we see that it's actually still 3 wide. If we want to get rid of that, we simply right click and delete, and now it's a 2 wide section. So there's so much you can do within here as far as the basic editing within Elementor goes. Now, if you want to view the whole screen, you can actually go right here and minimize the sidebar just by clicking on this, and it will toggle in and out. You'll be able to see your full screen right here by doing so. Now with Divi, that actually isn't necessary. So if I go over to here and we look at our site with Divi, you can see that it says edit with Divi. We can just click on that right here. And once this loads, we're going to be brought to several options. You can actually take a tour, or you can just click start building. So Divi gives you a lot of opportunities to learn more about how to use it within the site itself once you have it installed on your site. And we're just going to go and click start building here. And it takes a second to load, but you can choose from different things. Now, these pre-made layouts is something I'm going to go into more as I go through the next sections here. But let's just go and click Browse Layout within Divi. And here it's going to load different layout packs. So if we wanted to load one up, we can just click on it and then just click Use this layout. I'm going to have to re-authenticate my username and password. And now it's going to load up the site here. It's just going to take a moment to upload this pre-made template. And we can see that this is what it looks like once it's loaded. It looks just like the example that we saw, and it's awesome that they have this built right in, and there's hundreds to choose from. Again, I'm going to get into that a little bit more as we go through here, but I wanted to show you if you needed to edit something within Divi, you can also just go and change it right on the screen just like that. You can change the text, you can do whatever you need to right on the screen, so it's very nice to have that feature. You can also save right here in the lower right. And they give you this option to view it in the full screen by default. There's no collapsing the sidebar like Elementor. Now, if we actually go and look and we want to add a new section, let's just go down here to the bottom, and I'll click right here on this plus. So here we have options to choose a regular, a specialty, and a full width. So let's just go and click specialty for this example, and you can see that it offers a variety of different blocks here that you can choose for the overall look. So let's just say we want this one right here. It will pre-populate it with these different options. So insert row, I'm going to go right here and make it a full width one. And here we can go and add different modules. So I'm going to add a blurb right in here, and by default it will populate it just like Elementor did with this pre-populated blurb layout. And then we can edit it as needed. So if you need to change something, you can click on this and it will go to the image, and you have different options such as border. You can change the overall look. You can add an image box shadow here. You can do a lot in here. I think there are so many options built within this, in these blocks or these widgets here, that make it very flexible. Now, with that being said, I personally think that they almost have too much going on in here, because it makes it difficult sometimes to remember where things are at. You might have to search through here and really take some time to get the hang of it. That doesn't mean you can't make something nice quickly, but I just think there's so many options. If you look here, there's text, title text, body text, and if you open these up, there's even more options within each of these. There's a plethora of options. For me, I think it makes it a little bit harder to learn all of these things when starting out. Again, you don't necessarily have to learn all of them, but I do think it gives Elementor a slight edge in ease of use overall. So here I'm just going to go and save this, and I'll click save in the lower right to make that go into effect. And before we move on to the pre-made layouts or pre-made templates section here, I just wanted to say that you can actually test drive both of these builders and see which one works better for you in terms of ease of use if you want. So if you go to my link below at wpwithtom.com/divi, where you can get 10% off, you can also try the build out for free on their website, and you can also use the Elementor free plugin to try it out as well, because they do have a free plugin version and a paid pro version. So it's a great way that you can try out either one of these before you actually purchase the upper tier of each. So we did just upload a pre-made template here for Divi, so let's just dive into that next. So these pre-made templates, there are over 170 of the pre-made layout packs within Divi, and there are so many more on the way. It gives you so much flexibility to get something up this quickly, and it really cuts down on the overall build and design time. Now, I know we didn't have that clear of a winner in the first ease of use section. I think it's pretty close, but in this one, I think we have more of a clear winner, and I think it is probably Divi, to be honest with you, because of all of the layout packs that they have. Now, if we were to go over here and go back to the Elementor site that I have over here, we can actually go right down here and insert templates by going to Add Template. And there's going to be a bunch of different templates in here. Now you can see which ones are pro and which ones are free to use, and you would just click insert to insert them onto the page. It's very straightforward and easy to use. My thing is here though, I just think that Elegant Themes has so much more going on. They literally have templates for everything that you can imagine within Elegant Themes. Let's say we were to go over and open up elegantthemes.com here. You can go and go to where it says Divi and go to Layout Library, and you can see how many there are in here. Right now it says there's over 1,260 total layouts and 170 layout packs. So there are so many options in here if you want to go and look through this. There's real estate, there's author layout, there's an elementary school layout, animal shelter, life coach. There's everything that you can imagine they have a layout pack for, and it just cuts down on the design time so much by having these. You also can mix and match and add specific ones if you want, and keep other ones off if you want certain ones from the layout pack. So if you were to click on this, maybe you don't want to have the pricing page here, but you want to have the other pages. You can add all the other pages to your site and just not add the pricing one. And it really gives you a lot of flexibility overall. Now, with that being said, Elementor does have over 300 layout packs built into it at this time. So it's not like they're a slouch by any means, but they are more limited because there is only ones that are available on free and other ones that are on pro, and they just don't have as many as Divi does with Elegant Themes. And part of that might be because Elegant Themes has been around a lot longer and they've been doing it longer with these layout packs, but they are adding new ones regularly at the same time, so I would think that they're going to continue to be leading the way as far as the pre-made templates go. Now, I should also mention that although they're not actually built in to Elementor, I'm going to go right here and save this and exit to the dashboard. You can add other things that can enhance the layout packs that you have. So if we went over to Appearance and Themes, and then we were going to activate the Astra theme, the Astra theme actually comes with tons of free to use layouts or templates that are pre-made. So if I went over to wpastra.com and I wanted to view what some of these look like, it would be under starter templates. You can see that there's tons of templates. The ones that say agency you would have to pay for, but the ones that don't are free to use. So that's one place where you can get a lot of free to use templates. And I do have tutorials showing how to do this and use this for websites. And another place that you could get ones at, if we went over to our plugins area, you could add a plugin such as Envato Elements. Now there are other ones, but this one is a great one. And then within where it says Elements right here, there's going to be so many different options. So we can look at free template kits, and there's tons of free ones within here. You can see there's 13 pages. So if you wanted to just click, you can see there's tons of free ones that you can add to your site and start getting your website built out much faster. So if you click preview on this one, for example, then you can see when it loads up here that there's going to be different options, and you can add them individually page by page. So let's just say you like this one right here. You want to preview that. You can see that you can add this right to your site and get started building out a site with one of these plugins like Envato Elements offers here. Now there are other ones as well, and they're all built to work with Elementor's platform, which is great. However, when we're talking about what's built into the actual Elementor plugin and the Divi builder, we have to just go with Divi here because they just have so much more built into it, and they're not relying as much on other plugins or themes out there that have starter sites or templates built into it. Now, this is something I'm going to get into a little bit more as we progress through this video, but I at least wanted to address that as far as the templates go. So next up, let's cover support. Now, to be honest with you, this one's a little bit tricky for me because I honestly feel that due to the overall popularity of each of these two-page builders, that there is enough information online to find answers to almost any issue that you might have. I say that because when you have that many users, when you run into a problem, it's probably been addressed by someone already, and it might be online and easy to find if you just search, especially with Google and YouTube. There's so much information out there. Now, I know that isn't the answer that people want to hear, so let's discuss the actual support that each provide. And here again, I'd actually give Divi a slight advantage here in terms of support. And you can see right down here, they have live chat support right on the site. They also have a community forum, Facebook group, and their Facebook group is pretty active. Here they have local meetups as well. And then they have tech support right here that you can chat with our tech team. And they're honestly just faster at getting back to you and resolving issues that arise, in my opinion. And like I said, a lot of the information that you might be having with some problems that pop up could be already in this community forum for them. So they also have documentation where you can see tutorials and videos of how to do different things. Now, I will say some of them I think are a little bit out of date and they could be updated or done a little bit better, but they do have this documentation and these helpful tutorials as well. So if we looked over at support for Elementor, it's just not as good in my opinion, but I've never really had any major issues with it myself. In general, it takes them about 1 to 2 days to get back to you, and that's a long time for a lot of people that have issues arise. Another part of the issue for Elementor support here is that they have so many free users that are using their Elementor free plugin, which I'm going to get into in a little bit here, but it makes it hard to have awesome support when you have thousands or hundreds of thousands of users using a free plan and asking questions and trying to get issues resolved, while they also have hundreds of thousands of paying users as well. It's just a tough spot to be in for them because I know they want to provide amazing support, but they have such a big base of free users, and it makes it a little bit more difficult than I think Elegant Themes has to deal with, where every user that they have is a paying user because they don't offer a free plan. I will say that Elementor does have some awesome Facebook groups out there. In my opinion, they have better Facebook groups related to Elementor, and there's more of them than Elegant Themes does. And I highly recommend that you check it out if you do get stuck with an issue in Elementor, because sometimes I've seen people respond with the correct answer to people's queries and questions within literally a couple minutes of posting it in these Facebook groups. So this is what I'm saying when you can use all the knowledge out there to your advantage rather than having to rely on the support. Now, with all this being said, I think both page builders are pretty good because they have this knowledge-based support and video tutorials out there with examples. However, Divi is just the clear winner in this category, in my opinion, because they offer a higher level of support overall. So next, I wanted to discuss pricing, and this is a little bit tricky because of the way that Divi has their pricing structure set up and the fact that Elementor offers a free plan. So right here, you can see this gives you 10% off, and this is with wpwithtom.com/Divi to get you 10% off of the plans. So that is why the pricing looks a little bit lower than normal because of my link below. Now, Divi has two different options here. They have the yearly access and lifetime access. Now, in my opinion, it almost doesn't make a whole lot of sense to get the yearly access plan, but the lifetime access will get you updates for everything in the future. And if you're set with going with Divi and using Elegant Themes, this is the way to go with a lifetime access plan. I can personally say that I've purchased the lifetime plan years ago, and to say that it paid for itself time and time again would just be a drastic understatement. I literally made hundreds of websites for myself and clients with this lifetime membership, and it has been probably one of the best WordPress related investments I ever made before, because literally the first site I made, I was able to pay off this $224 that I just had spent just a few days prior to it. So it's just crazy that you're able to get a lifetime access deal like this. And the pricing is really just crazy. For this low of a price for lifetime access, it's hard to believe that they offer a deal this good. Now, with that being said, if we go over to Elementor, you can see that they actually have this free plan. And free is pretty hard to beat. So if you're looking, you can see there's $49 for one site, $99 for 3 sites. And then they don't actually offer an unlimited plan because people are abusing it. So they actually limit it to 1,000 sites. Now, if you can make 1,000 sites, you easily can afford to pay another $199 a year for another set of license that will cover 1,000 sites. So it's pretty crazy that they even offer this one as well. It's basically almost like an unlimited plan, but you do have a yearly cost associated with this when it comes to Elementor. And again, I really fully believe that if you were to just make one website, it would pay for this year easily at $199. So if I'm being completely honest with you, I think that both of these are completely underpriced with the amount of value that they provide and how much you can make by just selling one website to a client. Now, if you're talking about paid plans only, then Divi with their lifetime access would have the advantage here. However, if I had to pick a winner for the price category, it would actually probably be Elementor because of this free option. Again, free is hard to beat, and you can make some pretty nice websites just by having the free plugin here that they offer and using some other plugins as well. I have videos on how to do this on my channel, so I would actually give the pricing edge to Elementor, but it's really just because of this free option. If you're looking at upgrading to the Pro plan or a paid version, then I would give the advantage to Divi with the lifetime access. Another category that I wanted to include in this whole review here is called innovation and community. And I alluded to this a little bit earlier when I was talking about how Elementor has different plugins and themes that include it, and they build on it and they make it a lot easier and more powerful when you're trying to build websites with. And I think they have a better community overall as far as Elementor goes. Now, I'll be fair in saying both of them have great communities and they've made giant leaps in terms of innovation over the years with their builders. But I think because of all of the other platforms that use Elementor, they've become a lot more powerful, a lot quicker than Divi and Elegant Themes have been able to do. I think we've seen a lot of innovation within Elementor that we haven't quite seen in Divi in terms of the community effort behind it. There are so many plugins and add-ons and themes that are built with Elementor in mind and work in tandem with Elementor to give them a better overall process of building websites that I think it's something that needs to be covered here. And I think in the future this is going to play an even bigger role because Elementor is only going to grow and get stronger as the community of users and developers grow that use it. Now let's wrap up this video with my final recommendation. I personally think that this largely comes down to preference and what your budget is. And I know that's not the answer that is very helpful and that many of you want to hear, but these are both terrific options overall. If you told me I could only use one and I wouldn't ever have access to the other one again, I honestly wouldn't be angry about it because that's how good both of these builders are. Now, if you can't afford either builder's paid plan, then the answer is simple. Then the choice is going to be Elementor for you as they offer a free one. Now, if I had to pick one builder going forward and price wasn't an issue, it would easily be Elementor Pro for me. I think that they're just quicker in terms of the innovation that they have going on, and I really believe that the community of great plugin and theme developers is so tied into the future of Elementor that it makes them keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible within their builder, and they can do it faster than Divi can at this point, in my opinion. I think that's been proven over the last few years because I think we've just seen a lot more innovation overall. And lastly, I think the Elementor builder is a little bit easier to use and a little bit quicker in terms of actually creating sites because sometimes the Divi builder gets a little bit more bogged down. I've noticed when you're actually creating websites, it takes a little bit of time for things to load and it kind of gets a little sluggish at times. I think overall, I would just prefer the Elementor ease of use in building and the speed at which you can create websites with it. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and again, I have links for each of these builders below, and Divi's will get you 10% off if you use it. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below and why you might prefer one builder over another. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving me a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more WordPress related content. I've got videos on how to make websites with both of these builders on my channel that you might end up enjoying if you check them out. And again, thanks for taking the time out of your day to view this video, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.